Good Saturday morning, YouTube. How you guys doing today? So I just found out about this story and I wanted to share if I could. So evidently on May 10th, this article was posted in the Times. Jay-Z's entertainment company, Roc Nation, joined civil rights lawyers and other artists in penning an open letter to Georgia elected officials on Sunday calling for justice in the death of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. Arbery, an African-American man, was shot and killed while jogging in Glen County, Georgia in February. The letter was published as a full-page ad in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and was signed by Sean Jay-Z Carter, Alicia Keys, and Mario Yo Gotti Mims, as well as Robert Meek Mill Williams, a rapper who has become a prominent face for the criminal justice reform movement, and civil rights lawyers Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump as well. The artists and lawyers called upon Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp, Attorney General Christopher Carr, and District Attorney Tom Durden to ensure that the two white men who have been arrested and charged with murder for Arbery's death, Gregory and Travis McMichael, receive a fair trial. Quote, "By now we've all seen the crime's disturbing video, so the facts are not in doubt. He was unarmed and innocent and the victim of a hate crime," the letter said, "which is why we call upon you today as official leaders of the great state of Georgia and with the entire world watching to ensure that a fair trial is conducted, as that can only lead to appropriate felony convictions of both McMichaels." Here is a letter that was posted. Here is a picture of the letter that was posted on Twitter by Roc Nation. Open letter to Georgia elected officials appearing in Atlanta Journal-Constitution today, calling for justice to be served in the case of Ahmaud Arbery's murder, convict his killers, and show the world that hate and fear will lose. Hashtag justice for Ahmaud. Hashtag I run with Maud. The artists joined a chorus of outrage about the circumstances of Arbery's death and the state's failure to prosecute the McMichaels until months after the shooting, which happened after disturbing video footage of the shooting was posted online. Protesters gathered in Georgia and elsewhere, with some demonstrators wearing masks to limit the spread of COVID-19, calling for justice in the case. Public figures have expressed their own outrage, with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance describing the incident of a lynching. Wow. Here's also another post that was posted on Mother's Day by Roc Nation. Jay-Z's Roc Nation. Ahmaud Arbery was born on Mother's Day. To his mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, we are thinking of you on this Mother's Day as we continue to fight for justice for Ahmaud. Wow, that is awesome. And also, the man that shot the video has been arrested and charged with felony murder, as well as the McMichaels. Let's take a look.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has made another arrest in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, a young African-American man who was shot and killed while on a jog earlier this year. The fatal shooting was captured on camera and has generated outrage across the country. CNN's Martin Savage is joining us right now. Martin, what are you learning?
Wolf, it was that video that changed the whole trajectory of this investigation. As you'll remember, for 2 months, the case was stagnant, and then that shocking video was released. It was William Roddy Bryan, the man who took that video, and he's the man who's now been taken into custody today, exactly 2 weeks from the time that you had Gregory and Travis McMichael that were taken into arrest. Now, the GBI is announcing that Bryan has been taken into custody. He is charged with felony murder. That is the same charge that Travis and Gregory received, but also he's been charged with criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. There had been a lot of consternation by many here who believed that Bryan, in addition to taking that video, had also apparently participated in trying to detain Arbery on that terrible day. And now authorities have moved on that. His attorney has always maintained that, no, Arbery was just a bystander who happened to be a witness and captured it on his phone. And as we all know, it was that video that changed everything in this case, Wolf. But now he is in custody and in the same jail as the McMichaels. Wolf?
Yeah, we're just getting a statement in, Martin, from the attorneys for the mother and father of Ahmaud Arbery. And let me read it to our viewers. The family of Ahmaud Arbery was relieved to learn that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has today taken William Roddy Bryant into custody. We called for his arrest from the very beginning of this process. His involvement in the murder of Mr. Arbery was obvious to us and to many around the country. And after their thorough investigation, it was clear the GBI as well. The family of Mr. Arbery is thankful for the diligence of the GBI and the way in which they tirelessly pursued the evidence in this case. We want anyone who participated in the murder of Mr. Arbery to be held accountable. A very strong statement from the family, Martin.
It is indeed, and they're right. This is something that they have been calling for from the very beginning. It's also been something that the supporters of the Arbery family have been asking for. All the protests that have been held have spoken to this very fact that they believe that Brian was not just an innocent witness here, that he somehow was involved. Remember, he was named in 2 police reports, one of them in which McMichael himself, Gregory McMichael, stated that Roddy attempted to try to use his vehicle to block Ahmaud Arbery on that day. There was another report from authorities that suggested as well that he was a participant. It's interesting, there was a raid that was conducted, a search warrant, carried out on the McMichaels' home. That was on Tuesday of this week. We don't know what was found, but you have to wonder, could anything else found in their home have made them decide what to do with Brian?